What's going on, everybody? Chris with InsideTheU. Day one is in the books. Under Armour All-America practices Friday night, kind of a Friday Night Lights feel, little competition at the end of practices, as they did a little bit of some one-on-one, the competition that they're going to show on TV with the position group. So that was just good to see. I think it's going to set the tone for the next 4 days. 4 days of practices. The next 3 will be in the mornings. So it'll be good to see kind of these guys even more as they go through drills, some team installations and things like that, so they're ready for the January 3rd game, Camping World Stadium. So the Miami guys that were here, Cormani McClain, obviously you guys know about him, the verbal commit. It was just kind of good watching him go through drills, and he definitely was doing well at the end of practices. Once again, these competition drills, feels like all eyes on Cormani, not just because of recruiting news, but he's a highly regarded guy, and as a cornerback, everybody wants to take their best shot at a guy like that. So I'm very curious to see how he goes through the rest of the next few days. It was just good seeing him out here. You know, I've seen him before go through drills, but once again, just a very fluid, natural corner who's competitive and likes to play the ball well. So it was good seeing him. Other guys that were out here, Robert Stafford, another cornerback that was out here that I'll get into in a little bit. And then also, you know, it was good seeing Reuben Bain, fresh off another state championship game, playing defensive end, kind of on that line. He had some good moves. I'm going to show you guys video from practice today, either in the next few days or later on. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to package it, but definitely stay tuned to the channel. Hit the like button if you haven't yet. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of these guys' highlights. So those were the 3 Miami guys. Again, the 2 signees in Stafford and Bain, and then McClain, the verbal commit. There are 3 other Miami signees that were supposed to be here, and no doubt it's disappointing not being able to see them out here for different reasons why they're not here. But you know, Collins Chiampong isn't out here, also Francis Marinoa isn't here, and Riley Williams. So it would have been good to see those guys compete, but they're not here. But it's still good. Miami is well represented with the 3 guys they have. Once again, all eyes on Cormani McClain. You know, there were a couple other guys, uncommitted guys. There's not very many uncommitted guys here at this game. A lot of talent. Definitely check out the rosters to see who all is here. But, you know, a couple uncommitted guys that maybe Miami fans are curious about, but 2 of them that stood out to me to kind of pay attention to, and that's cornerback Roderick Pleasant, blazing speed guy. Kind of watched him go through some drills. I'm looking forward to seeing him more as the practices progress. I'm going to stay here and cover these practices, so looking forward to seeing him more. And also Nicholas Harbor, kind of playing this tight end wide receiver, definitely 6'5", all of it, looks great. He had this nice play, kind of going against a token defense as they kind of install their offense, but he kind of just showed his physicality against a smaller defensive back, and it certainly is what excites people if you have him on the offensive side of the ball, either tight end, wide receiver, whatever you might want to do. And obviously people like him on the defensive line, so he's just an athlete, a guy that Miami is pursuing. We'll see if they can kind of catch up to these other teams that are recruiting Harbor, but certainly he looked good. And just in general, it's great being back up here. You know, I've seen a lot of former Miami guys at this game, kind of going back, and it's been kind of hit or miss coming up here. You know, I remember the very first one that they had up here, so it's great being on these practice fields, kind of watching these guys, and this was kind of day one where they've all reported, they've heard about some of these guys. Sometimes they've seen these guys at camps, or they're from the same area, but just seeing all these guys here on the field, I'm sure it was kind of just an awakening moment for these guys, and I think it's definitely going to pick up these next few days as practices really get going. Some more one-on-one competition. Definitely looking forward to seeing the wide receivers against the cornerbacks, in particular Robert Stafford. I'm very curious to see how he's going to do. I chatted with him just a little bit. He kind of did this competition at the end of practice. He was looking forward to it, but this is a big stage for him. You know, a guy from Oak Alley there in Melbourne. You guys have seen the video. I went up there, had a chance to talk with them and cover him from practice and put together a nice video there. But definitely looking forward to seeing him here. High-level competition. He's a highly regarded guy, a top 20 cornerback, 4-star recruit. But you know, this is kind of the big time. You know, this is big. So I'm curious to see how he kind of acclimates himself to the competition. Cormani McClain is a highly regarded guy, obviously 5-star #1 corner. He looked very comfortable out here going through all the drills, and it was kind of fun just kind of seeing Stafford and McClain. Maybe they'll be teammates if everything stays intact with Miami and McClain, but just kind of seeing those guys kind of go through some drills, and there's not a lot of defensive backs. See, all 3 of these Miami guys are all on the same team, all on defense, with Bain, Stafford, and McClain, with team speed. So watching those guys on the defense go through certain drills was certainly impressive and good to see. Just that same guys potentially could be teammates at the next level. had a chance to watch Reuben Bain go through some drills, and literally like where I'm standing right now, he was doing these pad drills that all defensive linemen do, and it was just great seeing his leverage and kind of get through the pads, definitely working on ripping through and exploding out of the turns, and that was good to see. I'm looking forward to seeing him do that more. Also had a chance to watch him go against the offensive line, a little 11-on-11 action, and he held his own. He did pretty good. I know some people are curious how he's going to do at the next level. Highly regarded guy, tons of sacks, a lot of production, state champion, the whole thing. But it goes up a notch, for him. And he had this nice play in particular that stood out to me. Had a nice pass breakup on the line of scrimmage, which you like to see from all defensive ends. So, and to me, that just kind of identifies what kind of player Bain is. Just a very disruptive guy, whatever it might be, whether it's sacks, tackles for loss, forced fumbles. You saw that in the state championship game. His stat line was really impressive, doing a bunch of different things to help his team win another state title there for Miami Central. So looking forward to seeing Bain, looking forward to seeing all these guys as the week progresses, another practice. It's going to be a quick turnaround. This Friday night practice kind of just, it felt like about halfway. They did about an hour of drills and installation, and then they did about an hour or so of some individual competition type drills. But looking forward to seeing like a full practice the next few days. So that'll be good to see. Again, look for Harbor. I'm going to check out him more, and Pleasant. Looking forward to see those guys more. But once again, it's kind of about competition and also just the repetitiveness and consistency out here. So, and also, like I said, with Stafford in particular, just kind of getting adjusted to this competition. So as it goes on, you want to see guys kind of improve, and also this is similar to the competition that they'll see at the next level at the practice field, on the practice fields, and during games. So definitely stay tuned. I'm looking forward to this, showing you guys the highlights, but certainly reporting back to you each and every practice. So stay locked in, subscribe to the channel. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Thanks for your support.